Flying V, Explorer, Firebird, Flying V, Explorer, Firebird, Flying V, Explorer, Firebird. And what the hell's an RD? Hey boys and girls, I'm Nick in the States, and today we're following up our Gibbs Sunday series with the Gibson RD in a very, very cool Silverburst finish. Now, I nearly just dropped the guitar on the ground. It doesn't want to stand. I don't have the thingies. I don't have the thingies to keep the attached to the strap, I tell ya. This is a Gibson RD Standard. It's part of Gibson's Guitar of the Week series from 2007. It's available in a beautiful Silverburst finish. It's mahogany body, mahogany neck, 3x3 Grover tuners, unbound dotted grenadillo fretboard on this one, two pneumatic stop tail, and two beautiful Dirty Fingers pickups, which are Gibson's ceramic, high output, raunchy 70s kind of pickup. In a Silverburst finish, Silverburst Gibson came out with in the late 70s and early 80s and became one of their cool, contributions to new guitar looks and feels. And the RD is super cool. Now looking at the shape, it's kind of like a Firebird and an Explorer had a kid. And the kid might have been a little chunky, but it does have a little belly carve here to make it a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, and it's, as I say, set neck. No neck through body or anything like that with this. Very, very cool guitar. But what's neat about this is it's just the Explorer's raunchier brother. The guy that's always getting in trouble. It's got that grit, that output, that filth. To kind of give a display for that, this is the setting that I use in my videos. Typically it's my clean setting. It's a tone that gives you the cleanest. It's got a little bit of breakup to it. But if we listen with the RD, it's kind of already filthy. It's dirty, filthy, wrong. And that's what's neat about this and what they've really done with the RD is it makes it just these just pickups that just want to filthy, dirty, evil pickups, and that's the Dirty Fingers. And be careful, there's silver lettered Dirty Fingers pickups out there, and there are gold lettered Dirty Fingers pickups. The golds are actually from Epiphone, so they're an overseas manufactured version of the silver lettered ones that are the US ones. You can take a look at the Z guitar. Oh, it's so pretty, nice tasty pickguard. Inlaid Gibson logo in the headstock, even though it's dot with no binding. It's grenadillo, but it feels like a nice fretboard. It's very, very cool. It is 2-volume, 1 master tone, and it's just evil. And it sustains for days, especially with these pickups. It's just a filthy, filthy, filthy playing guitar. We'll get to some more tones in a sec, but I'll give you a little bit of history on the model. Now, when the Gibson RD came out in 1977, it was a little bit different than the one you see here. Well, the overall shape was the same, the neck, look, everything was kind of similar, and a couple key differences. The first of which was it was a 25.5-inch Fender-style scale. In addition, it had a maple body instead of the mahogany on this, and it had a huge swimming pool carved out here for active electronics. Now, some people say they were a little shrill. There's a couple of variations between 1977 and 1979. It's called the RD Artists in that series, and the 77 RD Artists are really kind of sought after and collected, although a lot of people have ditched those active electronics and just switched back to standard pickups in them. Now, in 79, they actually did come out with, the scale was shrunken down to 24 3/4 by 25.5 inch for whatever reason, and they came out with an RD standard, similar to this sort of, but with maple construction, that didn't have the active electronics versus the RD Artist. I think there was an RD Custom, which was basically diamond headstock, blocks down the neck version of that, like the bling ducky, cool, super version of the RD. Now, the RD took a nap at that point, and until 2007, when a 400-unit run was made in Silverburst for Gibson's Guitar of the Week. We've spoken a little bit about this lately on the channel because I have a few of them. I'm kind of coming through the collection right now and going off free into the world. And this is one of those. This is from my Uncle Funky's collection. It's actually already sold, so as soon as it's done with this video, I'm putting it in a case and shipping it out. But if you ever want to see what else I've got going on, there's a link down below to my reverb store, and there should be a bunch of stuff kind of coming in and going out of there over the next couple of months. So this came out in 07, and in 07 and then in 2009 through 2011, these were made semi-regularly in the RD standard model, configured just like this, in different colors and finishes and things like that. In 2014, Gibson did come out with the RD Artist again. The Artist meaning having active electronics, but this time the Gibson GEM actives, and I haven't actually seen one of those in person, but sort of kind of going back to the cool active electronic kind of deal. Now, about the pickups, they're filthy, they're whatever, but one of the favorite things I found in the marketing materials for this when the Dirty Fingers pickups first came out in the 70s is that Gibson called them the critical union between power and dirt. Yeah, man, exactly. That is exactly what that is the critical union between power and dirt. The Gibson RD. The 70s, man, stuff was, it was a different world. Why don't we get into some more tones? I'm gonna play through this thing a little clean, a little dirty, and then we'll come back here and talk some more in a sec. Before we get any further, this is playing through guitar into a Kemper Profiler, using a couple clean and dirtier patches, mostly from like Eddie Van Halen type stuff, which seems to really go well with this from a tone perspective, into a Behringer Euphoria, from that into my Mac into Logic. Simple signal chain. We'll blast through some stuff and come back here and talk some more. Rolling it back just a little bit. Then going back to firepower, and this is just on a relatively just kind of filthy and dirty. The critical union between power and dirt. The Gibson RD. It's just a ballsy, all-out, sustainy, gritty assault of a guitar. It's different than everything else just because it's its own take on it. And I think it looks amazing in this Silverburst. This guitar's got a slim taper neck, but it feels like it's got just a little more girth than a standard Gibson slim taper neck. But overall, within that realm. It's not a baseball bat, it's not a 58. It's a really comfortable playing, cool looking, substantial guitar. Now the market on these, the Silverburst ones actually, because they only did this in that one 400 unit run, Gibson didn't bite off their own nose again later by trying to reissue the same thing again. These are actually pretty desirable, and you're seeing them sell in the $1,500, $1,600 range. While the other colored ones, like the cherry or the black or the white ones, are a little bit less money, but still, this one I sold for $1,400 plus shipping on Reverb, and I think that was a pretty good deal. There's a ton of interest in people watching it, so there's definitely interest in the model. So if you look out there, you're interested in them, it's about where the market goes. The vintage ones are all over the place, from $1,200 to $4,000, depending on how original it is, if it has its electronics, the shape that it's in, that kind of stuff. It's kind of a crazy market for the 77 to 79 ones of these. But this, the Gibson RD Artist, it's not an Explorer, it's not a V, it's not a Firebird. Repeat, it's not an Explorer, it's not a V, it's not a Firebird, it's an RD, it's its own thing. It has its own identity. And with these filthy pickups, it sure does. It's growly, it's evil, it's mean. With that, I've been Nick in the States. Yes, folks, I have issues. It's been a pleasure sharing them with you. You're still here. You need to go home. The video's, it's over. You've moved on. You should, you could subscribe right here, or watch these things, but there's nothing else to see here. Just move along.